venture into house music, and that song is going to be performed later on the show, so stay tuned for that. Plus, there's a new adaptation of the famous South African stage play, King Kong, which was quite significant in launching the careers of Hugh Masekela and Miriam Makeba. This was also the very first black musical in the history of South Africa and tells the story of legendary boxer Ezekiel Dlamini. We've got the cast and the musical director here to chat more about that. So today on social media, we're asking you, in your experience, how have you taken part in performing arts? Share how dancing, singing, or acting has influenced you in some way. You can comment on our Facebook page or tweet us at Afternoon Chat using that hashtag Afternoon Express. I love reading all your comments on the show, and sometimes there's some shade that's always thrown, and I love reading those too. So if you're a follower of Winner Home on Afternoon Express, you'll also know that last week Team House and Leisure walked away with another challenge win. And remember that you can still vote for your favorite design duo on privateproperty.co.za and get entered into the grand prize draw, where you could win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own home at the incredible Eye of Africa estate in Joburg, complete with finishes by Plascon, Caesarstone, as well as premier appliances by Grundig. Take a look.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Winner Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes, and one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully designed homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the Private Property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
So make sure you guys get entering, and then we'll see you on Friday for the trendy Winner Home on Afternoon Express. I cannot wait to hang out with you guys again this coming Friday. Now let's get on to today's guest and introduce you to our first guest on the show. As with many actors, Lerato Mvelase started her career in theatre, but eventually made her way to a screen debut with a cameo on Backstage in 2003. How about that for a throwback? She's since starred in the SABC drama Home Affairs, the sitcom Home Sweet Home, and had a role in Isibaya. Now she's opening a new chapter in her career and introducing fans to a different side of her, house music.
Jonga, ndizamawufumana isiqinisekiso apha. EPI podcast washo.
I confiscated it.
Uyo wamxela uzoyibuyisa ndithi. I think you should have asked for the iPod. Okay, explain to her you're only keeping it while she answered your questions.
Annette, ucanga ukuthi ngempela lengane ihlunyeziwe. Lengane ikwenza isilima. Angeke ngimnike la iPod until such time as mina exolisa ngokuthi athi ngimhlukumezile. Actually, you know what? I suggest you give me somebody else.
Woo, the drama.
Yeah.
Ms. Mvelase, welcome to the loft.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
It's so good to be able to celebrate you for so long, because you're one of the hardest working actresses I think I know. Through all that work that you've been through, over stage, over screen, you're just such a hard worker. Is that like part of your family sort of DNA?
I think so, yeah. And I think also just being a woman, you got to be able to do as much as you can all the time. We're everywhere, always busy, busy, busy.
Amen.
Yes.
It's Women's Month. We want to celebrate incredible women doing great things with their lives, and so you're in the hot seat today. Because Women's Day and Women's Month itself seems to be something that just passes over people's heads. I don't know if people are really personally reflecting on that. I mean, a lot of men are asked to do the same thing because of what's going on in our country at the moment. But I'm really interested to pick the brains of powerful women like yourself. What does Women's Month even mean to somebody like you?
Well, personally, in this month alone, you know, I've encouraged most women to express themselves. That's one. Find yourself, find your voice, find the things that make you happy. And we must allow ourselves to shine as we're meant to, and also not be afraid to stand for what we believe in. And this month, I mean, just being in a show that I'm currently doing, I've learned so much about myself. You know, I've empowered myself by being able to do the things I want to do, like music, and not be afraid to challenge myself in any way that I can. So for me, you know, the month of August means that we should, as women, one, be able to define ourselves as individuals and also be able to encourage each other, mostly work together, encourage each other, celebrate each other. And I think I've been doing very well in that
Amen.
regard.
Yes, you have. Now, listen, I've been following you on social media, and I think you're posting some really beautiful photos of your little girls. And obviously, as a mother, trying to raise two young girls in a world that we've got at the moment, first of all, like, what kind of pressure does that come with? And what are the lessons you're hoping to instill on them? Because you've mentioned all these things about powerful women, having a voice, knowing who you are. How do you encourage young girls to do that?
You know, I don't know if you know, Dan, but I go around the country with Soul City, the institute, and we speak to young women about, you know, being able to not allow culture especially to define you. You know, as much as I know the roots of culture keep us
it
grounded.
Tries to, yeah.
Yes, it keeps us grounded. But, you know, we realize that culture has suppressed a lot of women, you know, because women are told, do not speak. Women are told, take a back seat. Women are told, you know, everything is after a man.
Do
you know, do what you're
said.
told, you know, let the man be the head. For me, I say we must teach our young women to find a balance between their male counterparts. You know, be able to go out there and say, I can do anything that I want to do. And my kids, for me, have really helped me to see myself bigger than what I really am. And they're the reason I've shifted from acting to music, because
Really?
I'm not fearful. I have no fear whatsoever
It's
anymore.
quite hard, though. I mean, let's talk nitty-gritties, because, I mean, I've got performers in my family, and one of the biggest fears that some of my younger cousins have about being a performer and wanting to start a family is the uncertainty of that, and the desire to support a family and look after them, and being able to make those changes doesn't come as easy, because you can't just 1 minute quit and decide, no, now I'm a singer, you know, and I'm not going to pay for your school fees anymore, child. You know, how does that work?
Well, the entertainment industry is inconsistent. So it's not for the faint at heart. You know, if you're looking for quick bucks, this is not the industry. You have to really work hard. You have to make your mark in everything that you're doing creatively. You can be a singer, a dancer, a writer, whatever you are. You have to allow your heart to pace itself, your passion to pace itself. And one thing that I realized the media has thrown out there is that if you want to make quick bucks, come into entertainment, be an actress, be a singer. But it's a very hard industry, you know, and your work has to work for you. It has to speak for you. And, you know, I can only be grateful to God that after all these years, I'm a working performer.
Yes, and it's a blessing to be that, because there are countless, myriad of young performers who are talented, hey? So talented, not getting work. Listen, you've made this move into music, and I'm so excited to unpack this with you. So what's fascinating is that obviously you've got this acting gene in you. You are so natural in front of a camera. You love the art, but I think it seems like music also runs in your family. Right?
It does, actually.
So does this get inspired by Pro? Like, was Proverb and you were like a...
You know, let me tell you.
Booty one said, okay, girls, time to go and do some music.
You know, growing up, we saw each other during holidays. Hey,
Booty.
And, you know, rapping has always been a thing he's always done. Singing for me, you know, when we're growing up, I love performing in front of everybody. You know, during school holidays, I'd get out everybody and I want to sing for them. I want to do something. You know, I've always loved that tension. And I suppose performing is part of my home. You know, my kids are performers. Gosh, they're performers. You know, so... Yeah, it's part of our genes, I guess.
Yeah. And the move into music, I mean, when you're trying to decide what I want to do with this, because I mean, a lot of people, a lot of musicians who I've met along the journey have always said, started out in church, realized I had a talent, wasn't quite what I wanted to do as a career, then realized I really did have a talent, now I want to pursue this. What was your journey? And then how did you end up landing on sort of house music?
Yeah. I've been singing since elementary school. In fact, that's the first talent I discovered, my voice. And, you know, I carried on with that throughout primary school, throughout high school. That's why I've been working for over 20 years. I started in high school doing musicals, high school musicals.
That's crazy.
And I've been working since. And when I got to university, I studied at Wits. When I got to Wits, I had a choice between music and drama. So in my head, I thought, okay, I need to make a business decision here. I want people to see me as an actress, and then later on, I'll come out as a musician, because the voice is there. It's always been there. It's a God-given gift, and I don't expect it to overshadow my acting at all. So I pushed my acting for as long as I could, and I think I've made my mark in that regard. And now I'm going into something different. You know, I want people to see the funky, young, talented woman that I am. And my music will do that for me.
Yeah,
You know?
and obviously having kids and all of that sort of stuff makes you feel like people think like, oh, she's going to go and settle now. She's
Oh,
going to
yes,
become
yes,
the auntie.
yes.
She's not going to really want to push her career much more, but to say like,
Yes.
no, I've still got
Who's
this funky
auntie?
vibe.
Looks like
hello,
that.
hello. And you are looking amazing. I cannot wait to
Thank
see all the
you.
feedback online. I mean, with the acting stuff, you're going to continue pursuing your career, continue to pushing that
Definitely,
forward.
yeah.
Theatre or film?
Oh, Dan.
I'm asking the
question. Let
lifelong
me
hard
tell you.
question for all thespians.
Let me tell you, for me, I've always believed that whatever role you get, be it on stage or in film, make it as honest and authentic, and as long as it touches people. So it's hard for me to choose. I can't say theatre or film. I believe when I do them both, I'm as truthful to what I'm doing as best as I can.
Stunning.
And
So you want to have an impact, no matter what it is. You want to have an impact on people's lives and make sure that crowd is standing there, ovations with applause in your hands.
That's me.
Amazing. Last words of advice to young girls, especially about performances. I mean, with your two girls, if you were to say, leave parting words with them about this industry, about being a powerful woman in an industry like this, what would those parting words be for Women's Month?
For me, it's every young woman out there who wants to be in the arts or is in the arts and is uncertain as to what to do. Firstly, go and study, because studying helps you to harness the craft itself. Secondly, learn about the business. You know, a lot of artists out there are out there flashing, and young people come into the industry thinking that's the life. It is not. You come into the business, understand the business side of the industry, and also you must know that your talent will take you to where you want to go.
Stunning. You're amazing. Listen, on our social accounts, we're asking something similar about how the arts have impacted people's lives. So I wanted to read some of those comments while I've got you with me. It says, has singing, dancing, or acting been part of your life, and share how this art has influenced you? And so I wanted to read some of those comments. So we have Sizwe, who says, I'm a drama student at one of Africa's most renowned arts institutions, TUT Arts Campus, and I must say acting is therapeutic. I've connected most dots in my life and have faced many demons through it, and I've also unleashed some in some ways. You start to explore the depths of your character. I love that. Nikki Libovitz says, I have a mime group called Warriors for Jesus, which is part of my life. Shout out to them all, FCG. I'm guessing that has a huge impact in your life, using drama and your sort of faith to be able to explore and express what you believe. And then Ashley Pontic Mimi says, yes, yes, yes. Singing has been and is a part of my life since the age of 5. I believe that singing is a prayer that your heart sings. It's more than just the words.
That's true.
Stunning. Lerato, I cannot wait for your performance later on. After the break, we chat to the cast of Fugard's new production of the classic King Kong, and head over to our social media accounts right now where we're asking that same question I just read to you now. In your experience, how have you taken part in performing arts? Share how dancing, singing, or acting has influenced you in some way. Comment on the Facebook page or tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express. That performance coming up later on in the show, so you get a cup of tea and we'll see you after this. A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday afternoon. We're live on SABC3. Keep using that hashtag Afternoon Express. I can't wait to read all your comments throughout the show today. Now, King Kong, and I'm not talking about that giant gorilla that fights dinosaurs and climbs the Empire State Building, but rather a famous local stage play with the same name. It tells the story of a legendary boxer, Ezekiel Dlamini, and is currently running at the Fugard in Cape Town and will be coming to Johannesburg. We're joined now by the cast members and the musical director to join us about the actual play itself. So guys, it's so good to have all of you in the loft today. High energy, actors, creatives. Are we going to be exhausted by the end of this?
Yeah, I'm exhausted already.
Thank you for having us and
Listen,
supporting the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. But listen, behind the scenes of these guys on set is insane. Put a whole bunch of creatives on a couch together and dramas about to unfold. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, you guys are part of an iconic production, the first ever black musical in South Africa's history. Launched the careers Hugh Masekela, Miriam Makeba. There were some really important names in this production. Did you know all about this production before you went for all the castings?
I knew about it, and
Okay.
you know, it was an iconic production, and so to be called into it, to be part of it, it was a huge task upon all of our shoulders, and so it was exciting at the same time because we get to bring back a little bit of history that South Africa shared at that time, and so right now we are giving birth to this new baby that everybody was, used to at that time, and so we're bringing it back to life. So it's amazing.
I think for all of us, there was sort of, King Kong was alive in our consciousness growing up, just as a people, as South Africans in general, but for our generation, I don't think many of us really knew the story or the music. Our parents may have shared it here and there, but what I think is really exciting is that we're sort of getting to reintroduce this incredibly historic and groundbreaking and just deeply important a piece of work to our generation, to a new generation.
It must feel almost like for audiences going now, I would always suggest that they go and find out the research of what happened in that production behind the scenes and why it was put together and how it was put together, because that informs so much about what is happening on stage. Otherwise, it's just like, oh, here comes another apartheid musical that's put on stage, which is so not what it is about.
Yeah.
So let's just zone in quickly on the musical score, because this was iconic. Right, it was a score that I think was written by a genius, and you guys are having to re-put this together on a stage production again. I mean, what made it so genius, and why was this man such an important man in the production?
Well, I mean, so many elements, because it wasn't just Todd's compositions that were genius. I mean, McKay, Davashe, and Kipi Moeketsi were also involved in terms of orchestrating. So it was multiple great South African musicians that came together and created this one magical piece. It was also massive in terms of the kind of bands they had then, because in South Africa we usually had smaller bands, maybe an orchestra with 3 or 4 horn players, and then all of a sudden scaled up to 13 just horns in South Africa. I think it was 30 by the time it got to London. So just being able, and you've got to understand, like today when we write music, we have the software that allows us to hear what we've written.
Wow.
But these guys were writing in their head, I'm hearing it, write it down, and then
performing
it came out correct, came out amazing. So there were a lot of elements that made it great.
And what's so cool is that the whole production team was a whole bunch of white guys and women who were trying to put this together with a couple of help, and then everyone on set and on stage performing the music was an entire black audience, cast and crew, which is so powerful for our country at that time. I must actually be very rude and go back a couple of steps, because I don't know if people necessarily know what the whole story of King Kong was life was about. So Sneh, you obviously have to do the whole important job of keeping the show moving forward, you narrating it, knowing the whole story. So you should know the story well.
I know. Oh, I know.
Okay,
the story well.
what is the story of King Kong?
Even with the fumbles. Well, the story of King Kong evolves around Ezekiel Dlamini, who's this amazing, incredible boxer. And is based in Sophia Town. And it basically looks at the lives, not just King Kong, but the lives of the people that are part of this beautiful Sophia Town place that we get to see. And we follow his life, and we see his boxing journey from him becoming this great man of a boxer to seeing, in a sense, the fall of that can happen to an everyday man. To see the greatest introspection. But at the same time, the beauty of it is seeing the life of Sophia Town, that in most images that in today's life, when you say Sophia Town,
people most likely will picture poverty and things that aren't going well. But Sophiatown had this life, had amazing music, had great individuals, amazing characters, people who knew each other and had love for each other. And I don't want to give away too much, but I'd say it's the essence and the spirit of Sophiatown of what actually happened there.
Yeah, and a lot of love stories in between. So we're going to unpack all of those love stories because Sanda, I hear that there's an interesting dynamic that you got in this production. You're the evil man, but pause on that thought because I want to be able to unpack that in just a bit. Also, while some people are long to live by the sea, others long to live near mountains in valleys that are lush, green and offer great views to enjoy over a glass of locally produced wine. As estate living continues to become extremely popular in South Africa, there's one estate in particular that has become synonymous with fantastic events, an unrivaled lifestyle and the sport of kings.
For many, the search for a dream home begins at private property. The website boasts a wide variety of estate property, including sought-after options in the Cape Winelands, including South Africa's top-rated residential estate, Valdevie.
The Cape Winelands is really known throughout the world, like making some of the best wines. This wine farm was established in 1783. That's when the first French Huguenot received the land. We're standing here in the old manor house. If you look at the walls, you can see it's very thick, and obviously back then they didn't have air conditioning. It gets very hot here in the summer, so I had to keep the place cool. The wine cellar itself was built in the 1820s. We've been making wine here on the estate since then. Also very interesting, this was originally a French Huguenot that started here. So if you drive around this area, you'll see some Dutch name farms and some French farms, and that placed the French Huguenots in between the Dutch to teach them how to make wine, because they could make cheese and farm, and this whole area really was where all the food came from. So this is where they grew the vegetables and the fruits. So everybody that came through the Cape had the fruit and vegetables that was grown in this area, and that's really what we're going back to. We're going back to the basics with the wine and with the farms on the estate to put that produce back onto the plates.
With Valdevie acquiring the neighboring Pearl Valley estate, residents can choose to enjoy a round of golf or make use of Valdevie's world-class equestrian facilities.
Valdevie's equestrian estate is unrivaled because we are now expanded out to Pearl Valley. We're going to now include a riding school. We're in the process of designing an indoor polo arena, which will be holding international show jumping events. So where your polo is a summer sport, we'll be able to play right through the season and play indoor polo in one of those. We've got an indoor-outdoor arena as well for the dressage. So whatever you do, show jumping, dressage, polo, you can do it on this one estate. And the facilities are world-class, really, really superb.
Here at Valdevie, we have lots of events. We play polo 4 times a week, and it's an ideal place to just come sit on the porch, enjoy just a glass of wine or a glass of bubbly, watch these amazing athletes, not just the guys on the horses, but the horses as well, to get close to them. It's a very peaceful experience. You can go for outrides. We've got miles of trails that you can enjoy. So it's really something special to come out here and kind of switch off. When you're on a horse, it's a time to switch off.
The estate is comprised of different developments, which creates a diverse community who all seek the same prize, a beautiful lifestyle.
Well, it's our vision to make this really a secure place, for families and people to really come live their dreams. Just like us, all the shareholders live here permanently. We're very passionate about it, and we just want to create the secure environment for people and to keep it safe. Unfortunately, in South Africa, security is a big issue, and we really pride ourselves on our security. And it's a big operation, but I think what's also great is that the residents don't really see it. They only see the security when they come in, so it's not very intrusive. Kind of happens, behind the scenes, but we really pride ourselves on being the safest estate in Africa. Well, it's been one of the secrets to our success is to cater for a wide range of clientele. I think the key for us is that whatever you buy, it's going to be quality. So it might be a smaller apartment that starts at 2 million rand or 3 million rand, but the quality is the same as a farm or a gentleman's estate. And those kind of people all are looking for the same thing. They're looking for security, and they're looking for a great lifestyle, and they're looking for luxury. And I believe that luxury these days is the time to be able to spend with your family or to do the things that you love. We try to cater for them, and we also try to make sure that they don't have to drive hours to get to a place that they can enjoy it with their family. We've got wine tasting, we've got restaurants, we've got kilometers of trails where they can play with their kids, so it's all within walking distance of their homes. And the natural beauty, you can't create that anywhere. It's close to Cape Town, it's close to the university in Stellenbosch. We're very excited, obviously. We've invested a lot of obviously money, time, effort and passion, not just into Val and Pearl Valley, but also into the greater community, and we really believe in this valley, and I think when people come here, they see that passion.
Val is the perfect embodiment of the art of living well. To find your dream home in this Winelands gem, visit privateproperty.co.za. Private Property, a home for everyone.
And also don't forget, while you're entering on that, while having a look at on their website, don't forget to also enter for our grand prize competition for Win a Home. All those details will be coming up throughout the shows on Afternoon Express, and we'll see you on Friday for all the design drama. Now listen, while you guys been watching that, I've been taking a look at all the social media comments on our Facebook page, because we're asking you quite a cool question that I'd love for you to share your thoughts on with us. Yeah, that makes sense. It says, share your thoughts on how the arts have influenced you, dancing, singing, have they all been part of your life? And one of the comments that I wanted to read out was from Mantwadi, who says, recently dropped out of a course for visual arts at school without my dad's support. I now have a great deal of peace in the arts, and spending time around other creatives has made me aware of my other talents in performance. And my dad is finally coming around now. So my contentment is absolutely infectious. I think that's so cool to see you take that leap of faith and to see the results of that. Then Tracy Seville says, I love singing so much. I play the guitar and I teach music at a preschool, and we make our own instruments, and I also do dancing, hip-hop, and I teach at a township for free. I like listening to praise and worship music and to praise God with my guitar playing as well. I also teach drama to children. So clearly when you've got the skill sets and the talents, you want to be able to share that with other people. And then this one was quite funny that I had to read out quickly. It was from Theodora, who says, seeing as it's a Motivational Monday, I love singing. It's medicinal. It gives me peace. Don't you guys invite extras to your show? I want to be on TV. Well, make sure that you continue to record your music. We'd love to be able to see it. And someday, perhaps, we could be having you on Afternoon Express. Now, don't forget, Lerato Mvelase will be performing later in the show for us. But after the break, have you ever tried to make a cheese sauce for your meal and it ended up bland or just all lumpy? Well, Clem's got us covered with the foolproof, perfect cheese sauce recipe. Now, that's a tongue twister, and I'll see you after these.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday afternoon. Live on SABC3, we're taking all your comments on social media. Hashtag Afternoon Express. Tweet us, tweet us, tweet us. I'd love to hear from you. So Clem is with us in the loft today, and everyone should know how to make the perfect cheese sauce. This wonderful sauce takes only a few minutes to prepare and has the ability to take a meal from the mundane to the extraordinary, and its uses are endless, and all thanks to Clover fresh milk. And I thought that because we're making a cheese sauce today, can I please start with a cheesy joke? Please? Please?
Okay, go.
It's one I learned at church, all right?
I should be motivational. It's Monday. Go for it.
Go for it. All right, so this couple comes home and they're really like having a long day and they're arguing. The girlfriend's arguing with the boyfriend about like who makes the coffee at night, and the girl says to the boy, no, you make the coffee, and then the boy says to the girl, no, you make the coffee, and then eventually the girl says to the boyfriend, no, you must make the coffee. It says so in the Bible. And she's like, liar, where does it say that in the Bible? And it says, she says, no, there's a whole book dedicated to it. Hebrews. Get it? Hebrews, the coffee.
So today we're making cheese sauce. But I feel like you just added so much
South
more
Africa,
cheese.
no one appreciates my humor, right? So I hope you do. All right, let's get making some cheese sauce.
Let's just start on the cheese sauce, okay? So in the pan, I've got a little bit of oil and I've got some butter. I always add oil to the butter for this part. Can you guess why?
It's because the oil has a high burning point and the butter doesn't. Butter adds the flavor, oil adds the heat.
Exactly. So the butter's going to end up burning and going too brown, too nutty, which is what you don't want in this case.
Okay.
So once all your butter's melted, you're going to go in with some flour. And this is just normal flour, all right? You don't have to be fancy about it.
Normal
Use
cake
normal
flour in the cupboard.
There we go. But what's very important is you need to stir. So, yeah, you stir, okay? Okay. You do this.
I'll do this. You have to really think hard about that one. It's almost like my pun and my joke, the punchline. You have to think hard about that too.
He stirs. So yeah, okay, just go for it. Cool. So, oops. You see?
Sorry.
I'm not using a whisk. It's not necessary.
Okay.
All right? People sometimes stress about it because they think it's going to get super lumpy. But if you stir properly, like Dan's doing right now, you can end up with a lump-free delicious sauce.
Delicious. Okay.
Next part is our beautiful Clover fresh milk. So did you know it actually lasts longer than normal milk?
No, I didn't know actually.
And that's because of the very carefully selected local farmers that they use. The milk actually stays for 4 degrees constantly from the time it leaves the farm until you take it off the shelf.
Okay, so it can survive longer. So I'm obviously back and forth between provinces, a lot of flying, so I must probably buy this milk because it stays longer in my fridge.
Absolutely. I'm going to be honest with you, I was a little worried that you weren't going to stir incorrectly, I was going to get lumps. That is the most beautiful, beautiful roux.
Thank you. How fluffy, it's even got little bubbles in it. Well done to me.
So I keep on stirring now.
So you add your Clover fresh milk. Hey, listen, while we're talking about Clover, by the way, if you want to get the ideas for this recipe and want to know how to make your own perfect cheese sauce, the keyword we're using is Clover. So you can SMS that to 33650 at a cost of R1.50. And just remember, though, those free SMSs don't apply. So continue to send those to us, and you'll get all the details on your mobile device. So please don't stress. Just watch closely how Clem does this so that you can learn the different skills.
Absolutely. Ready?
Yep.
In goes a beautiful grated Clover cheese.
Okay.
Super delicious. There's no recipe for too much cheese in the sauce, okay?
And you're using a yellow cheese, so you're using sort of like a cheddar, I'd imagine. So can you use a white Clover cheese?
You can use any type of white cheese. You can use a white mozzarella.
Okay.
You could a white cheddar, a mozzarella. Anything that's going to give you good flavor.
Oh, yummy.
But don't worry about it, because you're also going to get a lot more flavor. I can see you need some more milk there.
Wow, and this is becoming nice and stringy. This is great.
It is. This is perfect for nachos, actually. Can you imagine that stringy cheese on there?
Good stuff.
All
nice
right,
idea.
so now I've got some blue cheese, a little less blue cheese than I had earlier. Do you know why?
I was picking at it in the ad break. Yes, I ate a piece of blue cheese. I'm sorry, Clem.
All right, I'm all about sharing. It's okay. My final ingredient is a little bit of nutmeg.
Someone told me to get rid of the Monday blues, so I ate all the blues.
There we go.
Blue cheese.
I love it. Love it. Okay, cool. So that's looking really good. That's all going to come together to make a nice sauce. You're going to end up with a sauce like the one I've got over here. And you'll notice I've got some cling wrap over the sauce.
Okay.
Reason for that is if you're going to let your sauce sit, let me just tilt it for you quickly so you can see. If you're going to let your sauce sit, put the cling wrap over so it doesn't form a skin. The flour does sit
that's
and
not
get
nice,
just take that off just like that. Look at that. That's the cling wrap.
Nice done. Gooi that onto your chopping board, I'd imagine.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to pass it to you, but you still got a whole show to do. Right. So we've come over to our beautiful crudité plate. This is my take. Yeah, but it's kind of my take on a modern fondue. It really is. Everything's going to get covered in cheese sauce.
Delicious.
So we've got some baby carrots, some celery, some smoky potatoes, broccoli, and some very smoky German sausages.
Is this one of those cheese sauces that you can use for something like this as a dip, but you can also use it for all your famous dishes, like you'd make like a macaroni and cheese? What else do you use a cheese sauce for?
As a burger sauce, as a steak sauce.
Yum.
Add some pepper to that, make it a delicious pepper sauce, some mushrooms.
So this is the base for many different cheese sauces that you can use across recipes.
Absolutely. You really, really can. Dan, I feel like you should be like adding some background music right now.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. We're not allowed to play with our food. My mum taught me well. Listen, while Clem continues to douse all of our favorite vegetables and meat rods there in this cheese sauce, you guys can take a quick look at the recap if you've just tuned in and missed anything.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. You've got cheese sauce ready for dinner tonight and use it across all the different meals that you love to create. Now listen, on social media at the moment, we're asking you the question about how the arts have impacted your life, and whether it be singing, dancing, acting, because we've got all these great casts with us in the loft today. And so I'm reading some of your comments. Zoid Mpo, who's in the middle of your screen right now, says, nothing on earth has the power to help unleash the real you like the arts. I've been writing music for 13 years now. Even though I haven't blown up yet, I just can't seem to quit. Once you've been bitten by the arts bug, you are hooked. Great show today, guys. Thank you so much, Zoid. Thanks for tuning in and for being inspired by all the content we have. Savashni Perumal says, I think we all feel connected to some sort of art form. I just love watching theatre and the orchestra. I just love the feeling of intense emotions. I'm always absolutely captivated. And then Bianca Motsweneng says, being an arts is soul-feeding and it brings out the best in me. I like calling myself the beast, especially when acting. I'm an artist and I love art. Thank you so much, Bianca, for that comment. And to everybody else who's been sending them through to us, I'm loving what you're saying about the impact that these things have on your life. So continue to share your thoughts with us. Hashtag Afternoon Express on Twitter, or find us Afternoon Express on Facebook. Much more to come on Afternoon Express. After the break, we're back with the cast of the stage production King Kong, which tells the story of legendary boxer Ezekiel Dlamini. We'll be right back after these. A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday, Motivational Monday. And I want to find out from Sned, did you hear my joke earlier?
Yeah.
Did you think it was funny?
Don't do it again.
We're back with the cast and musical director of the new adaptation of King Kong, the famous play which tells the story of a famous boxer, Ezekiel Dlamini. So we didn't get to chat to you, Sunday, early on, because this whole thing is love stories, and you are the trouble gangster.
Yeah, but we don't really want to hear from you.
What do you expect? Everyone just look at him.
I want to hear from Sanda.
Everyone look at Sanda, point a spotlight in his direction, everybody. There we go. Tell us about your character, and like, you're a naughty kid in this show. You're trying to fall in love with Joyce. You're trying to do everything you can to put a wedge between their love.
No, the thing is, my character, Lucky, you know, his life was good until King Kong comes about and just tears it up. I wouldn't necessarily go with Lucky as being naughty.
Okay.
Rather, maybe say menacing. You know, let's go a bit darker there.
Yes.
Sorry, what did you ask?
You see, this is why they do the talking, right? This is why they do the talking. You see, Sanda. Okay. On a serious note, though, obviously your character plays the gangster. He's an evil character. You're quite a funny guy in life, as we can tell. But going down to the sort of level of that real menace that's within your character, Lucky. I mean, what is his motivation behind trying to get Joyce back, and what does he go about doing? What are the cunning acts he uses to try and get in between their love?
Lucky, he's at first in the not to give too much away, but there comes a time in Lucky's journey where he wants to act upon the downfall of King Kong, but then it doesn't work. So then he needs to just up a level in his techniques to get him down. Where I feel Lucky, his vehicle of getting what he wants is definitely necessary through fear. And that's how he gets about his ways. And Lucky doesn't necessarily have the physical stature of King Kong. So violence isn't necessarily your boy's way to go. You know, so
why is tactics
it's not the way. So he really tries to dig deep and like really get the downfall of King Kong coming from inside. You know, not just it can't match up in a physical bout. But but Lucky also does have a little bit of a charm with him. I mean. Being, vibing with Joyce at the beginning before she does some horrible things. And breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. But I would say that Lucky's way of getting what he wants is just really...
Sharp tongue, wise wit.
Just wise wit. And that's what the gangsters were about back then, you know. Approaching this role, it was wonderful reading a lot of Don Matero's work where literally his words are just so clear and descriptive, and like the vibe and the aura of Sophia Town just screams out at you with his words. And reading about the court boy, who's also like, court boy, small guy, but everyone feared him. No
small man syndrome there. Now listen, obviously the whole show is focused on King Kong and his journey, his demise, his growth, his love interests. But I mean, Joyce also plays quite a big part in this, because you're also caught between these like love quadrangles that are going on around you. I mean, reflecting on the role that you were playing, I think it was Miriam that was playing the role of yours, and to be able to fill into those shoes and to express and explore what it means to be a South African at that time. What was the journey like for you preparing for this role?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I think what's, as much as there's a very specific kind of socio-political and historical context in terms of this being set, the story being set in the world of Sophia Town and the sort of backdrop of understanding what life was like for Black people in the township, living under the icy grip of apartheid and oppression, it also is a quintessential kind of classic universal love story and love triangle. And I love that about it. We really see these human beings loving and laughing and fumbling and failing. And so I think that's very relatable to people. But specifically in terms of Joyce, I mean, they were very big shoes to fill. And it was daunting and very intimidating, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But I think what was pivotal for me was in my first meeting with our inimitable and wonderful director, the captain of our ship, Mr. Jonathan Munby. Captain Jonathan Munby, when we first met and he shared his vision for the show with me, the thing that was really pivotal and key for me was that his approach is that our approach in this is not really a revival, but more of a reimagining of the original piece. And that was so important for me because it really gave us freedom and room to bring our own artistic expression and interpretations to all of these roles, because I think, you know, there's nothing more sort of inhibiting and hindering to an artist's creativity than the pressure of trying to have to recreate someone else's performance.
Yeah.
And of course, Miriam Makeba is one of the most brilliant vocalists of all time. So how do I top that? So I'm very grateful that I was given the freedom to, and permission really, to make this role my own. So every night on stage I celebrate her performance and her legacy, while also making this role my own.
I love that. Sure, stunning words. And also in terms of trying to play this character of King Kong, I mean, he's an iconic man, he's a big man, he's a powerful man, he's got loads of different layers to him. For you, what was there something personally that you connected with your character?
I have to say, for me, it was very difficult getting into this character because he's very complex, and he's a larger-than-life kind of a character, and his ego pushes him into, you know, brewing certain like journeys. He goes on a journey that he himself finds himself that he's set himself up for failure, and so because he wants to be the best in the world, and he discovers that he can't handle what he wants, and also he's a very vulnerable character because as great as he was also a very he had a
huge ego.
He had a huge ego, but he was a child at heart. And he just, as much as he wanted the world, but he also wanted the little things that he never had when he was growing up. He never had the opportunity of being a kid, playing around other kids, and because he was abused when he was growing up. So he also had all those elements in his character. And so he had different shades of him that caused him, in making whatever right decision that he tries to make, it goes sideways for him, which ended up for him, you know, causing his downfall. And Lucky kind of feeds into that. Yeah, he feeds into that because he brews this plan of.
He brews.
Listen, he brews that plan. I must interrupt you guys for a second because we need to go to a short commercial break. But I really want to find out from all of you, besides all your humor, about the audiences. I mean, then what we really want to do is we really want to understand the audiences. I mean, then and now, like how audiences are doing. It'll be a fascinating thing to figure out. So continue to share your thoughts with us. #Afternoon Express, and we'll see you after these.
Yazi ikhala lingakukhathaza.
I'll start. A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday afternoon. We're live on SABC3 and you're about to be wowed with an exclusive. This song that's going to be performed today by Lerato Mvelase has never been performed on television ever. This is just for you, Afternoon Express. And she's a woman of many talents and has just dropped her first house single. And here it is, and she's going to be performing Tembalami. Take it away. Lerato, come on over here, come on over, come on over. Listen, we need to get that beat back. So can I ask the DJ to bring that beat back? We want to be able to hear the song because you guys want to get dancing to that. Come on, show us those moves. All right. Lerato, come and take a seat. What a way to wrap up a Monday with us on Afternoon Express. We're tired, gal. Some deep stuff in that song, deep stuff.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams, take them on.
Yes.
Take them on.
The aim of the song is to inspire each and every South African to believe in what they brought on this planet for.
Stunning.
You will never be a Lerato Mvelase, you will never be a Andile Kumbi, you will never be a Sletha, you will never be any other person but yourself. And hold on to that, and God will make a way.
Indeed. Sure. Right, what a crazy way to start off a Monday afternoon. I feel like this should have been a Friday, getting ourselves ready
Yes!
to weekend, right?
This is what it's like backstage. Monday to Sunday.
I don't know how you guys have energy to get back on that stage at night. Listen, when are your runs happening? When do people get you guys in Joburg and then in Cape Town? Because you're still in Cape Town for a bit and then you're moving to Joburg. So what are those dates?
We open in Joburg September 12th.
Cool.
We run until October 8th. Yeah. So no, it's going to be amazing. We're looking forward to Joburg and Mandela Theatre.
Stunning. And then obviously because Nondumisa, we haven't had a chance to hear from you in terms of Women's Month and your final words to women, especially we've heard from a sort of like actress's perspective and sort of from a muso perspective. What are your thoughts on young women in our country and like a final message to young girls for Women's Month?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think Lerato articulated it all so beautifully. The idea of believing in yourself, being authentic to who you are, not trying to imitate or mimic anyone else, but really taking the time to invest in yourself and your talent and your intellect and your spirit, and really just finding the courage and the strength to stand in the fullness of your truth and your power. Amazing. Because that's where all of your strength will come from.
Sure, fantastic. You guys have all been so amazing. Lots of fun for a Monday afternoon. I don't think I've ever had this much fun on a show in my life before, so well done. You guys officially take that prize. Congratulations. Go read all the comments on social media. We'd love to hear from you guys. Hashtag Afternoon Express. And make sure you guys join us again tomorrow for the Afternoon Express cook-along. Our special guest is actor and TV presenter Lungile Radu. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be absolutely epic. From the rest of us here on Afternoon Express, I guess it's good night and happy eating from us. Make the cheese sauce, make cheesy jokes. Life's too short to not make terrible jokes. Good night and happy eating. Bye!
Catch the Afternoon Express cook-along tomorrow as we put our culinary skills to the test with renowned actor and TV personality Lungile Radu. So head over to afternoonexpress.co.za for the recipe and shopping list and make dinner with us tomorrow live at 4 p.m. on SABC3.
Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Private property, a home for everyone.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.